Hey, what's up, guys? This is David Chase Taylor of 911truther.org. Today is July 11th of 2026. So, based on breaking news and events, it appears the CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland is going to stage an escalating series of events on the date of July 11th and or the morning of July 12th of 2026, specifically to spawn a second global biological pandemic and or trigger World War III. So exactly what type of events are planned is obviously not known, but the date of July 11th of 2026 is home to multiple sporting events. The highest, possibly the highest rated, most watched television events of the year, possibly even of the decade. And so, as evidenced by my book entitled The Nuclear Bible, which was published back on January 28th of 2011, the CIA is going to seize upon a live television event to stage an apocalyptic, earth-changing event. I'm going to get into all the events, but essentially you have UFC 329. With the return of Conor McGregor. He's been out for 5 years. He is the single largest mixed martial arts draw in the entire world. And then you have this coincidentally being aired at the same time as the Argentina versus Switzerland World Cup semifinal. And Lionel Messi is the single biggest soccer star in the entire world. So you have essentially two of the most high-profile athletes performing in events that are coincidentally going to be aired at the same time. And this is because the CIA is 100% certain that the CIA is going to stage a DEFCON level event during the live broadcast of UFC 329 and the Argentina versus Switzerland soccer game. That being said, the World Cup game between Norway and England a few hours earlier will likely see the beginning of the impending. So they're basically going to start out and then they're going to stage a series of events that are going to get worse and worse. So what I'm going to do in this video is essentially list the most likely, basically the top 10 most likely scenarios that are going to transpire in the next 24 hours. And then I'm going to highlight all the prime time events that are coincidentally just happen to be occurring on this particular date. And then I'm going to highlight the numerology, which of course is blinking red with the CIA, who is in Switzerland, on their numerology, because they only stage attacks on their numerology, because this is it has to do with the numbers being kosher, if you will. So firstly, we know that they're going to stage a earth-changing DEFCON level event in the next 24 hours. These will likely include, but are not limited to, the following scenarios: an apocalyptic asteroid impact event targeting one or more locations on planet Earth. I have identified Canada, the second largest country on planet Earth, as the location. Coincidentally, in 2023, the CIA staged a bunch of NATO satellite born directed energy weapon related attacks targeting northern Canada, which resulted in over 7 fires in different locations thousands of miles apart. And I believe that this attack on Canada, which spawned apocalyptic wildfires across Canada, provided the logistics cover for the implementation of explosives, large amounts of explosives in those particular areas. So a future scenario in which they claim that an asteroid broke apart upon entry into the Earth's atmosphere and hit the top part of Canada is expected. Secondarily, the CIA is planning on staging a bio attack in the next 24 hours. This is going to spawn a second global biological pandemic. I have identified Times Square as the most likely location, possibly in the aftermath of a car bomb or a needle spiking related event, which infects millions of people in New York City. Thirdly, the CIA is planning on staging an Armageddon scenario with the allegedly committed by the Russian Air Force, where they bombed the shit out of Israel. This is going to be likely feature the deployment of nerve agents, blood agents, choking agents, or other chemical weapons. And this is likely going to be a false flag attack, possibly by the Israeli Air Force itself or by the Indian Air Force. But it's going to basically frame Russia for an attack. Of course, we know about Revelation 16:16 in the Holy Bible, which features this confrontation between the bear, Russia, and Israel in the Valley of Armageddon. If memory serves, it's anyways, I can't remember, but it's a valley in Israel where the Battle of Armageddon takes place. Fourthly, the CIA is planning on staging a Russia-backed ISIS-based 9/11-style nuclear terror attack targeting multiple locations. I have identified Berlin, Germany, Jerusalem, Israel, and Washington, D.C. as the most likely targets. What's imperative to note is that Donald J. Trump is going to be murdered, assassinated, or suffer some sort of health-related emergency in the next 24 hours. And so obviously if they stage a nuclear attack targeting Washington, D.C., then he would be incinerated in that particular attack. Fifthly, the CIA is planning on staging a a Chinese Long March ICBM strike targeting multiple locations in the United States on the evening of July 11th of 2026. I have identified Las Vegas, T-Mobile Arena, Palm Beach International Airport, which was just renamed to Donald J. Trump International Airport, and the Jacksonville Naval Air Station in Jacksonville, Florida, as the most likely locations that would be struck by a Chinese ICBM. The CIA is also planning on staging, sixthly, they are also planning on staging a 9/11 style bioterror attack. This is basically the Joe Stack playbook, where this guy flew, what they call a lone wolf, flew a plane into IRS building in Austin, Texas, back in 2010, I believe. So they were going to stage a redux version of this, but they're going to target the Apple headquarters in Cupertino, California. And there have coincidentally been a number of white powder related incidents at that particular location, which has resulted in the evacuation of multiple buildings, and so that likely provided logistics cover for this impending 9/11 style kamikaze suicide bombing attack designed to spawn a second global biological pandemic. Also, we know that in the next 24 hours, on the dates of July 11th or the date of July 12th, the Israeli Mossad, the Israeli Navy, the Israeli Air Force, and or the IDF is going to stage an attack either targeting Hebrew, Israeli, or Jewish-related entities, such as an anti-Semitic attack, or they're going to stage an October 7th level false flag attack in Israel. I have identified Eilat Naval Base on the Red Sea as the most likely location. This is likely going to be blamed on the Houthi militia, and this is specifically designed to trigger war with Iran, who is allegedly backing the Houthi militia, and or spawn a second global biological pandemic. Eighthly, the CIA is planning on staging a Pakistan submarine-based naval assault targeting Mumbai, whose name was previously Bombay, so this is not the first time that the CIA has staged an attack on India in order to trigger a war. This is going to be specifically designed to trigger a nuclear exchange between the Republic of Pakistan and the Republic of India. Of course, this is going to be executed by German-made Dolphin-class submarines of the Israeli Navy and then scapegoated onto Pakistan as pretext for World War III. Ninthly, the CIA is planning on staging an IRA, Irish Republican Army, based attack targeting Buckingham Palace, specifically to assassinate King Charles and or Prince Harry and or Meghan Markle, who are currently staying at this particular residence. This attack was specifically designed to be timed with the return of Conor McGregor on UFC 329 card, as previously mentioned, along with the other Irish or English star, which is Paddy Pimblett. This is basically going to start a civil war in the United Kingdom, and is likely going to spawn a second global biological pandemic. There's also the possibility that some sort of gunman related assassination event targeting Prince Charles is going to transpire in the next 24 hours. 10thly, the CIA is planning on staging a North Korean MiG, Russian-made MiG-based aerial assault targeting multiple cities in the South Korea. This will likely target Busan, Incheon, or Seoul, and this is specifically designed to trigger a second Korean war that will predictably result in North Korean nuclear attacks on South Korea. 11thly, the CIA is planning on staging a Chinese outbreak. So the CIA scapegoated China for the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus, allegedly leaking from the Wuhan Institute of Virology in Wuhan, China, back on December 8th of 2019, and this was designed to foreshadow and set the precedent for a secondary Chinese outbreak. In this particular case, I believe that they're going to claim that Chinese airliners landed at LAX or San Francisco International Airport in San Francisco with infected animals. This may be pets from China. We all know about the ongoing narrative that the Chinese eat dogs. So it could be dogs or cats or birds, or it could even be foodborne. But some sort of bioattack allegedly originating from Chinese airliners in the state of California is expected. 12thly, again, I should have mentioned also, the CIA is planning on staging an anti-ICE protest-based occupation of Washington, D.C. So they just assassinated this father of three in Houston, Texas. I believe his name is, I don't have my notes with me. Let me see if I can find it here. Anyways, he was a Mexican national who had lived in the United States for 35 years, had 3 children, and he was gunned down by ICE agents in Houston, Texas. And this was just coincidentally is happening on the biggest sports weekend of the year, because the CIA is going to stage ICE riots, possibly targeting San Francisco, possibly targeting Portland, Oregon, Minneapolis, or New Jersey, where there's previously been riots. But I believe that the end game for this particular assassination is the occupation of Washington, D.C. This is designed to foreshadow and set the precedent for basically an Occupy Wall Street type of event targeting Washington, D.C. Basically, they want to vandalize and trash Washington, D.C. to enrage Trump, and then Trump is going to deploy troops to remove these, and then it's going to become civil unrest, and their goal is ultimately to burn down Washington, D.C. and blame it on Antifa rioters. And Trump will likely die in the process. Lastly, as previously mentioned in this video, the CIA is going to assassinate U.S. President Donald J. Trump. I identified, a plot that was supposed to transpire today, which is a Russian submarine cruise missile strike targeting the White House. Donald J. Trump just authorized Ukraine he just granted them a license to develop the Patriot missiles, and this was designed to provide a timely motive for a Putin-based revenge assassination targeting Donald J. Trump. Obviously, after I highlighted this and published reports about this, they're going to move to a secondary assassination plot in the next 24 hours. So Donald J. Trump is going to die in some form or fashion. He's going to be unalived on the date of July 11th or the date of July 12th of 2026. Because J.D. Vance is going to be sworn in as the president of the 48th president of the United States by the date of July 12th. Okay, as previously mentioned, there's a bunch of high-profile events going on in the next 24 hours. These include the aforementioned UFC 329 in Las Vegas, Nevada on the evening of July 11th of 2026. Because the numerology of 329, because the number 9 doubles as the letter I, which also, or equates to the letter I, which also doubles as the number 1, this is UFC 321. And this is 321 or 123 equals ABC, which is an acronym for atomic, biological, and chemical. That means that the CIA is going to stage an atomic, biological, or chemical related event just prior to, during, or just after UFC 329 in Las Vegas, Nevada on the evening of July 11th, which is going to be around the rest of the world July 12th. Secondarily, as previously mentioned, Norway is playing England and Argentina is playing Switzerland on the dates of July 11th of 2026. Obviously, Norway has Erling Haaland, England has Harry Kane, Argentina has Lionel Messi. These are three of the biggest stars in the world, and so some sort of an event, some sort of DEFCON level earth-changing event is expected during the live broadcast of these games. These games have hundreds of millions, if not a billion people watching. And as previously mentioned at the beginning of this video, I published a book entitled The Nuclear Bible for a False Flag 9/11 style nuclear terror attack targeting the Super Bowl XLV in Dallas, Texas back on February 6th of 2011. So we know that the CIA targets major sporting events because they want an audience for their terrorism, and the date of July 11th of 2026 is no different. Also, there are two events going on in Georgia and Moscow, Russia, that are going to come under attack by Israeli special forces masquerading as ISIS terrorists. The first one is RAF Georgia, and this is a wrestling competition that is going to be held in Tbilisi, Georgia. It's starring, I forget his name, the Georgian UFC star, I want to say Shakabili. But it's not that. Anyway, it has a bunch of UFC stars in it, and it's taking place probably starting right now in Tbilisi, Georgia, the capital of Georgia. We know that Russia previously attacked Georgia, so they're going to likely claim that Putin-backed ISIS terrorists attacked this event, when in reality this is going to be Israeli special forces dressed up in Islamic gear. Secondarily, there is a high-profile boxing match in a title fight in Moscow, Russia on the evening of July 11th, probably going on right now, between Yurat Gassi versus Peter Kadyrov, if I'm saying that right, Kadyrov, in Moscow, Russia, and this is going to come under attack. We know the CIA has staged multiple ISIS attacks in St. Petersburg and Moscow, and this is all designed to foreshadow and set the precedent for a secondary attack, which is going to, there's no mistake that this boxer, his name is Gassi with the word gas, because they're going to use gas. It's going to be a gas-related attack, and ISIS has been scapegoated for gas-related attacks. The last ISIS attack in Moscow was just it was the Crocus attack, which just happened in the last year and a half or so. So an ISIS attack targeting this boxing match or the city during the live broadcast of this boxing match is expected. Also, July 11th marks day 2 of Jay-Z's concert at Yankee Stadium. So this is one of the biggest events of the summer. Jay-Z is holding back-to-back concerts at Yankee Stadium in New York City. And so while UFC 329 and the World Cup game between Argentina and Switzerland is transpiring and being broadcast globally around the world, if an event happens, mark it down, the CIA is going to stage a mass panic. This is what they did to Travis Scott's concert in Houston, Texas. They staged a crowd surge or a human crush or a mass panic. A stampede will ensue at Yankee Stadium, crushing hundreds, if not thousands, of people to death. And that is exactly why this concert, Jay-Z being Illuminati, this concert was scheduled to be going live during these World Cup and UFC 329 sporting events. Also, on the date of July 11th, I'm not sure if the Charlie Kirk murder trial in Provo, Utah is taking Saturday off. I'm not privy to their schedule, but I believe it's likely going to be ongoing. So regardless if the trial took a pause for the weekend, a Charlie Kirk related terror event is expected on the date of July 11th of 2026. We know that the CIA murdered Charlie Kirk because of his changing views on Israel. We know that for a fact. We know that the Israeli Mossad was involved in this attack. We know that it was also designed to spark or spawn an American revolution that will predictably be labeled anti-Semitic. So this was designed to provide a timely motive for so-called MAGA revenge attacks. This is what the entire narrative of Black MAGA is, because they're going to basically become terrorists. So some sort of Charlie Kirk inspired or incited revenge attack targeting one or more locations in Utah or elsewhere in the United States is expected in the next 24 hours. Also, we have the Cubs versus the Cincinnati Reds in Cincinnati, Ohio on the evening of July 11th of 2026. Considering that the CIA has staged Nazi marches in Ohio, some sort of race war related event surrounding this particular game is expected. The CIA basically staged a march down, I believe it was Columbus, Ohio. These are when the protest is uniform, being the same flags and the same uniforms, then we know it's the CIA, because this is what they do. So whenever you see these color revolutions or these mass protests, and they all have the same shit, that's how we know that it's fake and that it's being orchestrated by the CIA. And in respect to the Nazi march in Columbus a few months ago, there's also been one in Knoxville, Tennessee, which is, I believe, borders Ohio, and there was also a third particular case. So they've basically designed to foreshadow and set the precedent for a real march, which is going to predictably become violent, and they're going to start lynching black people, and these are going to be likely Israeli special forces with black ski masks. So whenever we see a black ski mask, we know that there's an Israeli terrorist underneath it. That's why they're covering their appearance, because they have Semitic features, and they want to hide that from the public. Also, we have the Juju Smith-Schuster wedding going on at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in Laguna Niguel, California. This is important because the biggest star in the NFL, Patrick Mahomes, and his wife, along with Travis Kelce and his new bride, Taylor Swift, are going to be attending this event. And because the CIA was unable to stage an attack or a terror event targeting the Taylor Swift wedding in New York City last week, they are going to try to stage an event targeting this particular hotel or the event itself, and likely resulting in the death of Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and or Taylor Swift. And so this particular event will likely come under fire, possibly by Islamic Jihad related attack or some sort of tragic natural disaster. Also, there's a possibility of some sort of an active shooter related scenario surrounding this particular event. And lastly, I just want to highlight the numerology surrounding the date of July 11th and the date of July 12th. Firstly, the date of July 11th marks exactly 191 days since Guy Parmelon became president of Switzerland. This is important because the CIA is located in Switzerland, and because of that fact, because basically when the CIA stages an attack or a terror event or a so-called natural disaster anywhere around the world, they cue off the numerology of the head of state. And because Guy Parmelon is the head of state of Switzerland, which is home to the CIA, when the CIA executes major earth-changing events around the world, they cue off the numerology of Switzerland. In this particular case, the date of July 11th marks exactly 191 days since Guy Parmelon became president of Switzerland. This is the 9/11 numerology, 191, or the 911 numerology, which is an emergency numerology. So a 9/11 style attack or some sort of 9/11 level terror event is expected on this particular numerology. It also marks the 192nd day of the year. This is important because the number 19 equates to the letter S, while the number 2 was formerly the letter V. So 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. So in the Roman score, which is the original Roman alphabet, the number 2 was the letter V. which is the peace symbol. So this, because 192, it's the 192nd day of the year. It's 19 is S, and then 2 is B, or V. This is in German. For example, in German you have Liebe is love, and then you have in English you have LOVE. So the V is changed to the B and vice versa. Such as an over and over, sieben and seven, so on and so forth. So this is SV. This is the 192nd day of the year, which equates to SV, as in Shiva. This Shiva is the god of destruction, and that is why there is a Shiva statue outside of CIA headquarters at CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland. So this impending attack is going to be a blood sacrifice offered up to the god of Shiva, which is the Hindu god of destruction. And that is why all these plots that I have identified with are either going to be used to spawn a second global biological pandemic designed to wipe out millions, or trigger World War III to also wipe out millions. Also, in the event that there is an apocalyptic, earth-changing event such as an asteroid strike or a nuclear strike, the numerology of 7/11 is everywhere in the United States, because there are literally tens of thousands of 7-Eleven stores across the United States and also Japan, which I found out recently. They have over 10,000 7-Eleven stores just in Tokyo alone. So the numerology of 7/11, similar to 9/11, is going to be seared and imprinted into the minds of millions of people, because every time they see a 7-Eleven sign from this day forward, they will be immediately terrorized because of the numerology. So that's why I'm calling this particular report Operation Jack the Ripper, because G and K is Jack, and so this is basically, and Jack the Ripper was obviously a serial killer, and we're going to see, because the word serial is SRL, consonantly speaking, which equates to Israel, because Israel is the serial killer of the world, and that is why the country of Switzerland, no pun intended, Freudian slip there, the country of Israel is formed in the shape of a dagger, a shiv, if you will. It's called a shiv, but it's formed in the shape of a dagger, because it's going to be used to assassinate the world, basically by triggering World War III, and they plan on doing it on the 7/11 or 7/12 numerology in the next 24 hours. So obviously, if any of the aforementioned events come to fruition in reality, I would kindly ask that you download this video and share it with local, state, federal law enforcement, military, and intelligence officials, as well as with local, national, and international media outlets. Praying for a peaceful next 24 hours.